Life is nothing more than a game. One of my favorite characters in Dragon Ball, if not my most favorite character, is Android 17. And you also can't mention Android 17 without mentioning 18. These two, their whole philosophy in the beginning of their introduction in the Android saga was that life was a game. And you constantly hear Android 17 say this, especially future Android 17. And you have to really understand their ideology, because these two were humans and they were converted into robots. So when we think about games, you have to understand that games have programs. And just like the Matrix, whatever you download, you become. If you don't download anything, then somebody else will try to download something into your mind. And if you're not guarded, you will be programmed. You will be controlled. So point one, you have to understand that you are programmed and that somebody has downloaded something into your consciousness, and that your program is meant to destroy you and stop you from reaching your fullest potential. So in one version of reality, Android 17 and Android 18, both of them did exactly what they were programmed to do after being converted from humans into cyborgs or androids. And in that reality, they destroyed everything around them because that's what Dr. Gero wanted them to do. And eventually they were destroyed as well. That's what their future was. They were robots, they were programmed, and they did exactly what they were meant to do. They were kidnapped, their minds were hijacked, and that's the life that they lived. All the while, even while they were programmed saying that this is all a game, their version of winning the game was just destroying everything and destroying themselves in the process. That's what happens when you don't overcome your programming. You destroy yourself and everything around you slowly. You are built with destructive mindsets that society implants in you at a young age and even at an older age through social media, what society tells you, everything. Whether you want to believe it or not, when you fully know the truth, you understand that a game has been played on you this entire time. The only way you can break out of it is if you learn the truth and step up out of that. So point two is that all programming can be overwritten, and with that, you can be anything. So in another version of reality, in the present reality of Dragon Ball, Android 17 and Android 18, they maintained a sense of freedom after being converted into cyborgs. And as a result, they both killed the creator, Dr. Gero, and disobeyed his rules and lived a life of freedom. And at first, they didn't know what the hell to do. So they just went ahead, did whatever made them feel good. Even though they were made out to be this big threat to the Z Fighters, they didn't care about anything but having fun. Why? Because they were kidnapped, their minds were hijacked, and now that they woke up to the fact that that happened, they took a different route in this life, because now they know that they're free. They're free, they have all this power, they're invincible technically, and nothing can really be done. So they just decide to have mindless fun. And even then, that mindless fun got boring. But the fact that they went against their programming in and of itself was golden, because had they not gone against it, they would have lived another life, another program life, another robotic life, doing what they were made to do. So this is the freedom that we achieve when we release ourselves from the hold that society has programmed into us physically, mentally, financially, and most especially spiritually, telling you what society wants you to believe reality is. People who want to control your mind want you to believe that reality is, want you to believe that certain things are the way that they say they are. But if you don't have full control, if you don't have full knowledge, if you don't understand the truth, then they can be telling you all sorts of lies, and they have told you all sorts of lies. And those lies keep you in a subordinate mindset, in a submissive mindset. So when you choose to free yourself spiritually, to free yourself financially, to free yourself physically and mentally, you overcome those barriers, you overcome the lies. And that leads me to point three. So once you know the truth, you're in control of the game. How you level up and who you become is in your hands at that point. And truth leads you to knowledge and growth. So in Dragon Ball Super, you can see Android 17 is revived and he lives his life protecting nature. Android 18, she has a family with Krillin. They have repurposed themselves after the mindless fun that they lived and made it beneficial to themselves. And they end up being very respected. They become badasses. They get asked to join a tournament of power, and their minds are truly respected. Their power is truly respected. Who they are is truly respected. That is essentially what happens when you take the game of life and you apply it to yourself. You become something greater than what you were made to be, who you were told to be. Stop living what other people have told you to be. Stop believing what other people have told you to believe in, and believe in what you know to be true, what you find to be true. Follow your heart, follow what's within you. If you can follow what's within you, then you don't have to worry about looking outside yourself for guidance. You only look outside yourself for guidance because you know that something is missing within you. And once you understand that something is missing within you, you take all the steps that you need to take to find what it is that's missing and to repurpose your life and become greater than what you've been programmed to be. So, and that's essentially what they did. On one hand, Android 17, Android 18, they were nothing and they die like programmed robots. On the other hand, both of them become useful to themselves and the world around them and supersede the programming within them. You can't become useful to yourself and the world around you if you're still living out the lies that society has programmed into you, that those who want to control your mind have programmed into you, telling you lies, telling you to accept things that aren't true, to follow things that aren't true, to believe in certain ideologies that aren't true. But when you really find the truth within yourself, then you don't need to go outside yourself for that. So you really want to take this opportunity to understand that life is a game that at any point you can start living the way that you want to live. You can start doing the things that you want to do. But you have to understand that freedom is yours for the taking. You don't want to go too crazy with the freedom, because if you go too crazy with the freedom, you're not going to end up doing much of anything. You're just going to be mindless. It's mainly about, you need to find a sense of purpose, and you need to follow that purpose within you. Follow that inner fire within you. See where it really leads you. Because once you follow that inner fire within you and you see where that leads you and you understand the truth, you learn the truth, you take the time to free yourself spiritually, to break out of dogmatic mindsets, whether it's a religious mindset, whether it's certain political mindsets, whatever the case may be, just believing in authority and what they want you to believe in rather than believing in yourself and what you see with your own two eyes. If you can really take that mindset and apply it everywhere in your life and do what you know that you're here to do rather than what they tell you is going to make you successful, what they tell you is going to make you a great man, what they tell you is going to make you a great woman, but you start following what's within your spirit and you listen to your spirit and you listen to your higher self or whatever higher power you might believe in, you listen to that power within you, then you can grow infinitely. You could do infinite amount of things, and the amount of reach that you have over this world and within yourself spiritually is infinite. But you won't be able to tap into that if you're letting the game get played on you. You're letting whoever wants to control your mind run circles around you and put you in a game. You want to put yourself in the game, treat it like it's Grand Theft Auto. You go ahead and you do whatever you need to do in life. Live life on your terms. The only way you can live life on your terms is if you truly understand the truth in all aspects. And you have to take it upon yourself to learn, to grow, and get out of your comfort zone. Stop being lazy. And another thing I wanted to add, Krillin's wish to remove the bombs from the androids was symbolic. If you got to really think about it, your programming is a ticking time bomb for your destruction. That's what programming does to you. You live your life on a time limit. The minute you learn the truth and choose to reprogram your life, you take it into your own hands and that bomb no longer exists. That's you wishing the bomb away. But if you don't overcome your program, then you can die programmed, that bomb explodes, and you're finished. So you want to remove that bomb from yourself. You want to remove any barriers that stop you from being who you know you're supposed to be. And truthfully, the only barrier is your own ignorance or your own laziness. So when you choose to become knowledgeable of who and what you really are and what exactly is going on in the world around you, in the world that you've created through your mind, and understanding your mindset and how to control your mind, control your subconscious mind, learn about your spirit, and apply the life and the spiritual knowledge to your life, then you can truly transcend what you've been programmed to be. You can truly transcend and go into different realities, transform yourself into a much stronger, much more powerful, and much more appealing being than you can ever imagine. That's who you can truly become. So understand that life is a game, and understand that this is a game that you're meant to play, not for others to play on you. Thanks for listening.